Wohammer.com. Check out Wohammer.com. Kruleboyz Metastats, February 2025. Thanks to all my patrons. Thanks to Baron of Dice. Thanks to Iberian. Join the Discord. Okay, so these are stats taken from Wohammer.com. Check them out. Great content. I'm sure you'll know. If you're watching me, you know who Warhammer is, or Wohammer is, right? It's like, hey, check out Honest Wargamer. He's pretty good. So, okay, so all the results in this article are taken from BCP, Best Coast Pairings, Stats and Ladders, and ECKSEN, don't know what that is. They include, let me know in the comments, please. They include GT, 2-day events, or GT plus 6 or more rounds only. So they're not taken from any 1-day events. No RTTs, nothing like that. So this is just like big 2-day tournaments. Okay. So there's lots of data here. We're having a conversation over on my Discord. Check out the comments or check out the description to come join. Lots of GTs. Okay, so win rates. So when we're looking at win rates, we're going to look at Kruleboyz. So Kruleboyz have a 45% win rate. Okay, so that is within that green zone, right? The lowest here is Skaven at 41%, and Kruleboyz is sitting at 45%, which is not a bad place to be. The thing that's interesting about this chart here is it's games played, removing ties. So Bone Splitter sitting at the top has only 15 games played, but you can see that like Feck has 300, something Stormcast 700, you know, 140, 250, 311, right, 125, and we go down the list and it's like 115 from Daughters of Cain, and then 76 from Kruleboyz. Kruleboyz has the fewest GT games played of any army except for 2 armies that have been removed from the game, Bone Splitters and Beasts of Chaos. So to me, this is really interesting data and really interesting information because people are playing Kruleboyz as much as armies that are being removed from the game completely. That's not great. This, to me, is indicative of how popular the army is among competitive players who want to go to GTs, and it's not great. So while they do have a 45% win rate, the number of players that are taking them is really, really low. And we are close to the bottom of the meta, right? Lumineth Realm Lords are below us, Soulblight Grave Lords, Disciples of Tzeentch, and Skaven. But people are playing them all twice as much as Kruleboyz. We're not going to look at all the stats here. I mean, the only people playing Bone Splitters and Beasts of Chaos are probably people who have been playing them for a really long time and want to get the last value out of these armies. I am like, yeah. Let me know if you play these armies. Estimated win rates if the players' skill levels were equal, so we're not really interested in looking at that. We're not going to look at all of these graphs here. Battle formation win rates, we're not going to look at that in any kind of detail. There's a few ones here. Here's a good one. Faction popularity broken down by player ELO rating. So ELO ratings are just player ratings from BCP, I guess. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I'm still learning about this kind of stuff. But Kruleboyz are at the very bottom. So the dark blue here, 700 plus, like a higher rating is better, obviously, and it goes down to sub 400. And if we look at Kruleboyz, there's almost no players that are in this high-ish rating. It's like we have 700 plus. Looks like there's I can't see those numbers. Is it just a 0? But it's players of high skill levels, the 700 plus, even 500 plus, aren't playing Kruleboyz. They're just not playing Kruleboyz. We are not a very well represented army. We are not a popular army. Huh. I wonder why. We're not a popular army. Let's keep going, especially among good players. Elite and rookie players by faction. So here we are again. So elite players, I don't know how they define this. Oh, percentage of 500 plus. So if you have a 500 plus ELO rating, you are considered a elite. And if you have less than that, you're considered a rookie. So we have 7% are playing are elite and 20% are rookies. So it's very, very low. Like players of high skill, like, oh geez, lots of really skilled players playing Beasts of Chaos. But for Kruleboyz, it's like people aren't interested, you know. and better players are less interested. Faction win rate for players with sub 400 ELO ratings. Let's skip that. Not all these things. Faction popularity broken down by number of wins. Guess who's at the bottom? Kruleboyz. So Kruleboyz have 0, 5 up, or 5+ wins, or 4+ wins. We have 0 of them. Actually, none. The best that Kruleboyz are doing is like 3-2. That's the best Kruleboyz are doing. But we're doing just as many 0-5s as we are doing, almost as many 0-5s as we're doing 3-2s. Really, really poor. Number of GT wins as a percentage. Let's keep scrolling. Jeez. Like, look at these numbers. They're so bad. Number of GT wins as percentage. So we have won 0, 5 wins, 0, 4 wins, a third 3 wins, a third 2 wins, 7% 1 wins, and 27% 0 wins. Right? Like, the record is just bad. And of course, this is using the December, everything from December. Yeah. It's, yeah. I mean, it's just Kruleboyz at the bottom. Consecutive wins. Kruleboyz. Full house, 5 wins from 5 rounds, 0. Tournament wins, 4 wins from 4 rounds, 0. 3 wins in the first 3 rounds, 0. Positive results after 5 rounds, 40%. And other, so less than that. So this 40% is 3-2s, and the 60% is everything else, roughly, if I'm understanding these numbers correctly. So, you know, it's like we're at the bottom of the meta. Not only are we at the bottom of the meta in terms of, well, I mean, like, the win rates are actually not bad. Like, we are, I guess, technically at the bottom of the meta for GT win rates, right? Because we are like a 45% army. Skaven's doing so poorly. Skaven players must not be happy right now, I gotta say. They must not be very happy. New book, right? Like, why? New books are supposed to be OP. It's really a bummer. But in all regards, like, we're not very popular. People aren't doing very well at tournaments. Yeah, so pretty bleak. Help, help, help. Like, subscribe. Wah.